Hello everyone and welcome to a live broadcast of the AOR ACL Porsche Cup on Assetto Corsa. First time on my Twitch channel. I'm Fizzy of course as usual. Usually it's Wycombs who streams these races on his Twitch channel. However, he is unfortunately on holiday at the moment, which means I have taken on the duty to replace him for the final round of this Porsche Cup season. 8th round. It's been 7 very action-packed weeks of racing in the Porsche car so far, and we are... Well, actually, I'm not going to reveal the track just yet. That's coming in a second, but we are at a pretty good track, I guess we can say, for the final event. As mentioned, I'm Fizzy, and to help me take you through the action for this round is Phil Reed.
I'm still here. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I just thought you were Chris.
Well, that's easy to mistake, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Low-hanging fruit.
Sure.
Had to go for it.
Good that you're here at least, because you'll have more sort of in-depth knowledge about this league and the drivers and how they've performed this season than I have. I've obviously watched quite a bit actually of the racing, but not, you know, as much as you, because you watch all of it in very much detail. So yeah, it's a fun around the season. As mentioned, we're gonna have 2 races around the track, which I'm about to show you on the screen. Let's bring up the graphic. There we go. Round 8 will be at the almighty Nurburgring GT circuit. And Phil, I have come to learn that you are the honorary track expert for this series. I'll let you say a few words about this. This
Honorary?
Sure.
That's professional.
Well,
Professional track knower. Yeah, that's what it is. Professional track knower. It's a Nurburgring Well, it's actually the GT circuit at the Nurburgring this time, but with the arena section in, which is always nice, because the arena section is certainly something that is actually quite nice to drive, I think, in GT cars, depending on who you are. I think some people still don't like that arena section towards the beginning of that, but I'm a big fan. But you do get the GT chicane, which is way better than the one they used in F1. It's not super good for overtaking, but it's great to drive through because you just sort of flip the car left and right. But yeah, once we get to the qualifying, I'll probably try to take you on a lap with someone. We'll find someone and we'll jump on board and we'll go through a lap together once we get there.
Yeah, we'll do that in a moment. So I believe quality is about to start, so we have a bit of time still to go through the usual stuff. So I'll try to follow the sort of same procedure as Chris tends to do. So first of all, I'm gonna jump into the results graphic from last week's first race. So here we go. Sansuke apparently won the first race round last week at... What track was it again, Phil? Last week? I forgot.
Well, that's a long time ago.
It is a very long time ago. 7 days is much.
Wait. It wasn't. No.
I should have known as well, to be honest. I mean, you definitely should have known because you were there. But I
was there.
I kind of watched it as well. You know.
It's very difficult. Hang on, I got it in my head. There was some racing. Cars were going side by side with each other.
It was Silverstone.
It was Silverstone.
Nostra just
very
kindly came in the chat and reminded us. Well, actually, no. Oh, but then you put a question mark. So I'm not just so sure anymore. He thinks it's Silverstone. We're gonna go with Silverstone. Let's pretend it was Silverstone. So if that is the case, Sansuke won the first race at Silverstone, which is quite impressive. So well done to him. Laxo finished second in that race, and he, with that, as far as I remember, clinched the championship for this third Assetto Corsa AOR season. So congrats to him on that. Chaff finished third. I believe he's a reserve driver, unless I'm mistaken. But obviously I know him very well from the GT3 League on Project Cars. I know he's a very fast guy. You can see the rest of the results from the first race there. And then now we jump on to the results of the second race, which Laxo won just to celebrate his championship clinch, I guess. Took the second race victory home. Sansuke in second, so I guess those two just flipped around from the first race. Very impressive from the back of the field, obviously, in the second race of the night. Niklas Domino took a podium as well, which is cool to see. Andrex in fifth in that particular race with Matt in sixth, and as you're going to see, as we jump onto the driver championship, that is quite interesting because while Laxo has wrapped up the championship At the top of the table, there is still very close battle for second. Andrex only 6 points ahead of Matt Shimmy. So, interesting to see how those two go relative to each other here today. Tom Bridle in 4, and I guess still has a very outside chance at second, considering he gets 50 points for a win in both races here. Quite a few points on offer. Maisie, even if everyone ahead have a very, very poor night, could get that second place, but it's gonna be tricky for him to do that with 329 points. Sansuke, Dazios, PNK, Jeff Silver Arrow sitting in the top 10 at the moment, with Nostra just outside, maybe looking to get himself inside that today. If we just scroll a bit further down, you can see a lot of close championship battles further down as well, and I will not be able to remember all of these names and where they are in the table, so we will hopefully see at the end of the race sort of where they end up. But yeah, as you can see, I guess what is clear to see is that a lot of drivers have a lot of positions to fight for, and I'm sure they will therefore be motivated to perform well in this event. So, this is where I might need your help a bit, Phil, because the Constructor Championship, I've got a lot of team names here, but I'm not really sure what drivers are in what team. So, Neon Racing leading by over 100 points. They're looking very much set to win this Constructor Championship, although I think that Stark Industries have an outside shot still. Phil, you want to remind me, if you know, who are in those teams?
I do know.
Great.
So, in Neon, it is actually the champion himself, Mr. Laxo. Well, just Laxo, not Mr. Laxo.
Sure.
And Exited. They did used to have Diablo in there, but Diablo left partway through the season.
Oh.
Whereas the Stark boys are Maisie, Matt, and I believe it was Ticklish Picklewickle. I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh, that's a shame. I'd be looking forward to commentating him.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh well.
Of all the things.
I guess that makes it fair in the sense that it's 2-2 in terms of driver numbers, although Neon, of course, has the almighty champion of the season, so I guess it might be tricky for Stark to close that point gap down, considering it's over 100 points and with luck, so also taking part here today. Grey Goose and Dragon Racing close in the battle for third. You got PCDC looking relatively on their own in fifth there. Haribo in sixth, Clean Racing Group, Falcon Racing, Hoonigan, Blue Cade Racing. Actually, all of those are quite close in the lower end of the top 10, and Spadix maybe has a chance to get themselves inside it. And a quick look at the lower part as well. Final 6 teams as we head into the final round here. And I think that is pretty much it in terms of the championship situation. So I'm going to jump into the track, Phil. We got 10.5 minutes left of this qualifying session. You can see a few times have been set so far.
Yeah. Push key number 8 and then control 1.
Number 8.
It should be quick.
Oh, absolutely nothing.
Key number 8 hasn't done anything. Oh no.
Oh, there we go. It's done something now. It's put me to Microlander. Should it have put me to Microlander? Although he's now jumped down to 12th immediately.
Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can do this. I was trying to find someone that was an outlap so that we can find a lap to go on board with. If you can find Pedro on the track, that would be great.
I can find Pedro. Let's see. I'm going to figure out which position he's in. Oh my god, he's down in 32nd. That's going to take ages to get there. Okay. Okay, how do I even do
He's
this?
coming up the final straight now.
Do bear with me, everyone, as I am kind of learning these controls on the go a little bit. Let's see, I need to just skip my way through the field as we...
Go. Let's come around the final corner. Go!
Where are you, Pedro?
I believe in you.
Where are you?
Just
Pedro!
rolling.
Oh my god. Yes, got him!
Down.
Got him!
Okay.
I'm on F6. Phil, take us through that.
This is the main straight coming down into turn 1, downhill braking zone into a right-hander hairpin. Got to keep it. This is the tricky one. You can do a couple of different lines through here, but Pedro keeps it tight. He's going to go out to the left and he's going to dive it straight back to the right to open up turn number 2. Open at open it up as much as you can to get on the throttle as early as you can without running wide here, too much wide, because otherwise you run onto the AstroTurf. Tricky braking going into 3. This is a little tricky because you can't go as fast through it as you'd like because you've got to turn right for turn number 4. So easy to run wide at this corner, and but Pedro doesn't. Pedro just takes it a little bit safe. Coming down into turn number 5. This is a great little section of corners downhill. Positive camber coming all the way around, switching from left to right. Can't go all the way left because it's quite tricky to sort of work out the best line through there. You can go fast through one and slow through the other, or slow through one and fast through the other, or a bit of both. And then you run down into this lovely hairpin, braking hard and braking to the left. Try and keep it on the track as you do for most part. But Pedro runs it a little bit wide. You want to keep it quite tight through there, usually on the throttle quite early you can get, because it's quite a lot of traction through there into probably the better section of corners. These Schumacher S's left, right, up the hill, coming over. You see can't see the corner coming up yet, and then all of a sudden you start braking left-hander. This is a tricky corner. You can easily run wide here. You can easily lose the back here. And then same with this one. This one you want to be very precise because you can run too much curve and run it out wide, or you can just clip the apex curve too much and it ruins your entire thing. It's a very important corner because you are on the back straight now. That technically is a turn, even though it's flat out and basically everything you ever drive ever. Into this final chicane. This is the GT chicane. It's a lot faster. You see the F1 chicane just ahead of it, but you can see that's a much more pleasing corner to drive through, but obviously the overtaking is slightly more difficult. But then into the final corner and onto the straight, going down into the line, onto the line, to the line. And Pedro did a lap.
Yeah.
There is a line. Yeah.
There is a line, so that's always good to know where the track ends and starts.
Pascal, where's your line?
So yeah, nice little lap guide there from our track expert, Phil Reed. By the way, hello to people in the chat. Charf is in the chat.
Oh, hello.
Is he also going to be driving, actually?
Hang on a minute.
Doesn't
Charf,
seem like it. I
what are you
can't
doing?
see him actually on track or on my driver list. That's a shame. But I've had enough. I've done quite a few commentated races on Charf, of course. Bit ashamed to not get to do it on Assetto Corsa. But anyway, Stevie and Alec in the chat as well. Carolis I saw earlier. Diego Master 3. Hello to you guys and everyone else who might be watching at the moment. Thank you as well to Pedro, Igro and Brennan who followed the channel as well. Which is very nice. You did get away. Hi Stevie. Okay, chill out. Right. Let's focus on this qualifying session. 6.5 minutes left to go. I'm going to actually go away from Pedro again because I think... Oh, look, in car view. That's cool. Okay, track camera. Jumping to the man... Oh no, I need to make sure that short key works. There we go. Sansuke is the man on provisional pole at the moment with less than half the session yet to go. I think he's just come back out of the pits actually, so got a new fresh set of tires on to... get another couple of laps in air at the end of the session, but he's sitting on provisional pole with a 2-0. That was
2-0.
2-0. So he's got a 2:00.718. The reason I said 0 was because it's 8 thousandths ahead of Vernux, who's currently in second. That's a very, very, very small gap at the top, and
Pretty small.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've seen smaller, but it'll do for now. Third at the moment, though, Matt Shimmy, who is looking for that second place in the championship, looking to take that away from Andrex, who is sitting down in 8th at the moment. They are separated by only 0.4 of a second, though, so it's actually quite close between everyone, really, in, towards the top of the table. It must be said, everyone in the top 12 only separated by 0.7, around over 2-minute laps. So yeah, very impressive, and especially considering in this league as well, of course, when you have that situation where, you know, it's default setups and you don't know the track until 30 minutes before the qualifying session. Everyone has to learn it on the fly, although obviously, you know, you'd expect everyone to be reasonably familiar with the Nurburgring. But still, it's definitely it's an interesting challenge, which it's one of the main reasons why I've kind of been slightly sad occasionally that I haven't been able to jump into this as a driver myself yet. Yet, I mean, you never know. I mean, to be fair, with Project Cars 2 coming and everything, I might have enough leagues on my plate. I mean, iRacing and F1 and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, the racing I've seen from this league is definitely, you know, something that's made me tempted at least.
I've attempted to drive. Doesn't work. Can't do it.
Doesn't work. Well, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know how Assetto Corsa is on the pad, to be honest. But
Not great.
not great. Okay, there we go. So that's why it doesn't work.
Probably could be better. I don't know how I'm going to set it up properly, but seemingly not.
Sure, there must be some kind of settings that work. Speaking of settings that work, I'm sure Laxo has found some settings that work incredibly well. Because he's gone on to provisional pole now by 6, well, closer to 5 actually, so I'm going to say 5 for the sake of making it sound closer. 5/10 of a second over Sansuke. 2:00.182 for him, and he's just gone back out as well for a final splash and a dash lap at the end of the session. Hello Waldo in the chat, hello Franco Dros, hello to my new follower, Juran Van. And why comes himself, the man who is not in the commentary box today, the man who is usually the man broadcasting these races. Of course, he has made his way, I guess, out of his holiday endeavors to...
Hole.
his hole, sure, yeah. I'm sure he just went into hole because he didn't want to stream this for whatever reason. But yeah, as mentioned earlier, he's on holiday, so at least nice to see that he has found his way onto the Twitch chat, which is good. Hello, Chris. But Phil, are you seeing any interesting time leaderboard changes here?
I've seen a few people jump up. I saw Pops go up into 5th, only a 3,000ths behind Tom Bridle. And Pedro's coming across the line soon. I think he might be on an outlap though, but it'll be interesting to see if he can put himself up because he's probably a little bit off where he'd like to be right now. Other than that, just try and look down the field, see if anyone's further down than I'm surprised with. It's all looking relatively normal actually, which is surprising.
Oh.
Oh, Vernux, is he? No. Oh no, Sansuke just took pole. That's what it was. Sansuke jumping in front.
Nice one, Sansuke, and he's just parked it there as well. I guess, I don't know if you have the countdown at the end of the qualifying session there, to be able to complete the lap, or if the session just ends.
Complete the lap. You can complete the lap.
Okay, so okay, but Sansuke clearly very happy with that.
Sansuke, yeah.
And yeah.
Tom Bridle jumped 3rd.
Oh, nice one.
Thank you.
All this. I guess there's not really any proper way to tell if anyone's on a fast lap here, at least not as far as I'm aware.
No, you just sort of guess.
Yeah, sure. So
it makes it more exciting.
Who should we guess? Who's gonna do the next fast lap here? I guess
Simon.
Sure. Okay. Where's Simon?
15th.
Oh. Here we go. Simon coming up towards the chicane. Yeah, it's not going to be long left of his lap actually. Let's see if Phil is correct that Simon is going to pop himself up a few spots there. He's currently in P15 with a 101.497. Definitely room for improvement, although I don't know where Simon usually tends to be in the field. But let's see, as he runs towards the line, Simon does not improve at all.
He would have, but I said that he was going to improve, so he didn't, just to spite me.
Yeah.
But someone who did improve that I probably should have expected was Pops, jumping up to the 3rd, and exited just about getting into the 2-minute deads. Just about.
Yeah, gets himself into the top 10 as well with that. PNK sitting in 10th on the cusp of the top 10 at the moment. Centro. Let's see if Centro's out on track.
He is.
Centro, that's
coming
Centro.
around the final corner, final chicane now.
Oh.
Into the final corner.
What can he do? Grey Goose team. Oh, yeah. Those are the guys in 2nd, isn't it? Or was that 3rd? I can't remember. That was 3rd, probably. Let's see. Centro stays 11th, unfortunately.
He's still got another time. Still got enough time for another lap, though.
Laxo's back in the pits, and Suki's back in the pits, Pop's back in the pits, Tom Bridle back in the pits, all of the top 4 back in the pits. Vernux, though, coming around the chicane. No, that's Schumacher S's, so it's kind of a chicane. Still, I wasn't wrong.
No.
And actually, Vernuk's been dropped to 6th, which means that Matt Shimmy has gone up to P4. Not good news for Andrex, though, in the battle for 2nd in the championship. Andrex down in 12th at the moment. Those two are the main rivals for that championship position. But let's see. I'm gonna stay on board with Vernux as long as he, doesn't look to have bottled his lap. So he's got the chicane, of course. Yeah, the fast GT chicane, as Phil mentioned on the lap guide earlier on, which means it's a Nurburgring GT circuit as opposed to the GP circuit, which has the tighter chicane there in the penultimate corner. But yeah, Vernox was dropped to 7th actually, which means
yeah, Jeff jumped up.
Jeff jumped up, and Vernox does not. Oh my word! Actually, Jeff and Vernox have exactly the same lap time.
No.
Very
So
interesting.
Vernox did improve his lap time then.
He must have, yeah, but he didn't improve it. He needed 1 more thousand. Unbelievable scenes.
Pedro's last cut. Oh no, Pedro's backing out of a lap.
Yep.
And Centro is backing out his lap in spectacular style, apparently. Oh no, he was on my screen and then he wasn't. So that's some interesting connection issues there because it looked like Centro decided it would be fun to just
it's gone
fly.
flying without wheels. This is incredible scenes, and it's flew into the pit lane.
Gone. I don't know where he's gone.
I think he's gone to the
Centro,
pits.
come back.
Wait, actually, wait a minute. Centro's disappeared from the graphic on the side at least. So
I know.
it could be a potential action problem.
That could be. Well, so either that or it's a potential personal best of the lap.
Yeah, he's just gone so fast that it's just completely ruined the whole server here.
Yes.
Is anyone else?
Oh, Meeks does a job. Good job, I think, jumping up into 12th at the end there.
Yep.
That
Alright.
was where Centro was.
That was interesting. Okay, so what happens now? Was that it? Can we get to
That's it. We've done. We've finished now.
Oh, cool.
Stream
Okay,
can
that was the stream. See ya.
Mm.
That was a good race.
Yeah. No. So what we do now is we wait for this 1 minute, and then we will jump into the race where there'll be a 3-minute gridding period, in which I will run through the qualifying results because I don't do enough. So
Sure.
I have been given the role of doing qualifying results.
Sure. I guess we have to wait
And
till we're on
stuff.
the grid then.
Yes.
So 15 long seconds to wait. God, this is gonna take a while. I'm gonna give a shout out then to the 2 guys who just followed me recently. Are a Bright 4 and Devout Fire 3. You're enjoying the stream, even though we haven't even seen any racing yet. But it's gonna come soon. Don't worry. Say hello to Minnie as well, as always in the stream. Tom Bryan's here. Aris 3 AKM is here. Nostra is about to drive, but he's in the chat as well briefly. So yeah, good to see a lot of people here. And Kaiden Lauder as well, follow me there just at the end. So let's see, how do I do this?
Okay, so what we do is you
go down.
click that little drive action. You see that little driving action there? You click on that, and then I usually just push escape and then mash the back to pits button. And then once you're back to pits, you click the drive again. You hit F3 to go onto the TV. You hit number 1 to go to the first car, and boom.
Wait a minute. So how back to pits doesn't seem to work.
It don't work yet. It has to wait for the race to start for some unknown reason. But
Okay.
we're at the back anyway, so it's not a problem.
You want to go through the grid then?
I do. I kind of do.
Go for
Maybe.
it.
Do I?
Oh, we'll consider
Okay,
it.
so on the pole position by, hang on, let's see what it was. It was just over 50 thousandths or 500ths. It was Sansuke on pole from Laxo, new crown champion, in second. Pops in third, coming back strong after a few struggling weeks, with Matt in fourth, Tom Bridle in fifth, and Vernex in sixth. Jeff in seventh, with Exited in eighth, which is good for the Neon Racing guys. Pedro in ninth, with Andrex rounding out the top 10. So Andrex having a stronger qualifying than he's had over the last few weeks as well. P&K in 11th, with Centro in 12th, Meekster 13th, Dangerous Genius 14th, Nick Meadow 15th, so a strong qualifying from Nick there, or Nick Meadow, and Silver Arrow 16th, Simon in 17th, with Maisie in 18th, so not too good for the Stark Industry boys there, with Clarson's 19 and Morvik 20th. We then go on to the final few. Dazzy Oz in 21st, with Heinz in 22nd. Nostra in 23rd, with Micro in 24th. So actually, the teammates were lining up right next to each other there. Nicholas Domino in 25th, with David Siska in 26th. Mr. Alcon 27th. Berserkmere 28th. Astrid Aslani 29th. Humaga Adrian in 30th. Emin Babaoglu in
Look at where they're
31st,
lining up. It's ridiculous.
with Ricardo Machera in 32nd, and as always. You and I,
Ooh.
I say as always.
Why are you starting ahead of me? That's cheating.
Why? Because that's exactly why. Because the letter Y comes after the letter M.
I don't need to do something. I got the lights here.
You need to. So now you need to spam back to pits.
Okay.
Keep clicking it, and then now okay, we're in. So then 1 F3, and then drive 1 F3.
3. And
actually 1 doesn't.
There we go. We got the race start.
Okay. Woo!
Natsuki leads the way with the inside line, has to defend slightly from Laxo into the first corner. Laxo trying himself on the outside, but has to back out of that one as Natsuki takes a good amount of speed through the corner. Oh my god, that's gone the wrong way. Mr. Alcon seems to have had a very poor launch back there. Very, very far behind already. Pops pressuring for second at the moment. Laxo, a little bit under pressure, but holds on to second for now. Matt just behind in P4. Then we got Vernox. Tom Bridle exited. Jeff Andrex. Oh, Andrex up a few positions actually. Pedro in the top 10. And Phil, I'm not sure about you. I've not seen any major incidents, at least not at the front.
Nope, no major incidents at the front. A couple of little taps at the back, but nothing major. I think one spin in the background. As you say, Mr. Alcon apparently deciding to go on holiday for a few seconds before the race started. So, obviously, bear with me a little bit as I try to get used to sort of these. How the broadcast feature works here, and get used to the gap times on the side and stuff, checking whether there's battles. There's definitely a battle for 17th at the moment. Maisie under pressure from Silver Arrow by the looks of it, having to defend around the outside, and if Silver Arrow has been given a poor exit as a result of it, now under pressure from Claessens, who seems to have taken 18th from him through the Schumachers. No, he hasn't. Silver Arrow still hanging on side by side. They were going through those corners, and Claessen's on the inside now. Silver Arrow trying to maintain the momentum on the outside, just about staying on track there, I believe, and Silver Arrow staying ahead. So very exciting action in the middle of the pack at the moment. But I'm gonna jump up to the front just to make sure we don't miss anything. Sansuke still looking solid in the lead of the race with the already crown champion. Oh, spitter for P5. Vernox.
Vernox off into the wall. That could potentially be damage for him.
Yeah, it is. Oh, not. It's not. I don't think there'll be any damage. I don't think he hit the wall. I think he was just okay. But he's on a really awkward place to rejoin there because he can't really get on the track until everyone's gone past, and he now is on the track. But you have Matt. Oh, is that Matt challenging for second place or third place against Pops? He's on the outside. It's going to be tricky. Looked like Sansuke might have run a bit wide into turn 1 as well. So fighting going on seemingly everywhere.
Ooh, wiggle from Pops there. It might give Matt a chance of the inside through here, but no. Pops is just about far enough ahead to close that door on him. So pretty feisty for the podium fight at the moment. And Laxo getting very close actually for the lead of this race. Trying to go around the outside. That long left-hander still trying to look up the inside, but Sansuke closes the door on that occasion. Yeah, Laxo definitely looking to take advantage on the second lap of the race. 13 laps, of course, in the race. It's not the longest race there. You kind of have to take your opportunities in a race like this. About, I guess, 26 minutes then, if it's around 2 minutes per lap here. And then we'll have a second race, of course, with a reverse grid later on. And again, I saw Pops a little bit slidey. Coming through the hairpin at the bottom of the hill, just using a bit of curb on the exit. But yeah, at the moment, Phil, it looks like we got pretty intense battling towards the front.
Absolutely, yeah. It's what we see a lot of the times, especially on tracks like this. We do get a lot of fighting, and where mistakes typically from the cars are at a premium. Usually on something like this, we do see a lot of just nice close racing when it all comes together. And as you say, Laxo pressuring Sansuke with Matt on the back of Pops. And then there's a bit of a gap back to Tom Bridle, who's sort of on his own a little bit, was exited a bit further behind, with Jeff actually pressuring, exited now right into the final corner. Exited looked a little slower through the chicane than Jeff. But so there's a few guys going on, battles here and there. And looks like Laxo might. No, he's probably too far back to attempt to move into turn 1 there. But Sansuke runs wide again. This is a mirror image of what happened on lap number 2. But Laxo will have the outside here, which is probably not going to work if he wants to attempt to move. But he will be on the throttle earlier. As you can see, he's going to be trying down the inside into turn 3. That's tricky.
Oh, he's gone for it. Oh, he's sliding. Unbelievable, that's nearly contact. I think it's just about avoided each other. That was crazy stuff. Sansuke seeing Laxo coming just about. Wow. That could have ended in tears.
Well read from Sansuke. Takes the cooperation of both drivers to avoid a contact there. Oh, Laxo's trying to get for the outside. This will give him the inside. He will definitely have an inside run, but he will have to slow it down. Oh, bit of contact there that time.
Oh!
Also, Sansuke's going to go around.
Oh, avoid the ball. Oh, he just about slows it down to avoid contact, but that's going to lose him a lot of time. Dropping positions like no tomorrow here. Down in 9th at the moment. Everyone is closing in from behind as well. He might drop to 10th behind Dangerous Janetta. He's got the inside line though. Into the braking zone here. A little bit wide as well. Janetta trying to cut underneath, but Janetta probably knows that Sansuke has the pace on him, so I wouldn't be too aggressive if I was in his shoes. But yeah, Sansuke down to 9th after that. Little mistake battling with Laxo, so that's a shame for him. He's got a big comeback drive then to try and get back up to where he belongs in this race.
Well, they're giving him something extra to do then.
Yep.
Yeah. Just looking around now. Andrex is going very well. He started in 11th place, currently in 6th, so he's up 5, I believe. And pressuring Exited, so it's going well. I think Exited's probably moved up the field based on that actually as well. So we've probably had a few guys drop back further than we've noticed so far.
Yeah, we obviously saw Vernex off the track at the side. He's down in 23rd at the moment, which is worth pointing out. Keep an eye on how he can drive through the field as well, potentially.
Yeah. Speaking of driving through, Matt is troubling Tom Bridle. It was actually Tom Bridle must have. Oh no, where's Pops? Yeah, Pops has dropped a bit. Then,
yeah,
because he was ahead.
It's true. Matt
Tom Bridle, I think, was well, Tom Bridle was pressuring Pops, and obviously Matt was behind both. And now Matt side by side with Tom Bridle into 2, and then he's ahead going to 3. So that's a nice move from Matt. Then he must have kept the outside line on turn 1.
Very good move there for Matt. Up 2 positions in quick succession, actually. Which is good news for his charge to try and get 2nd place in the championship. His rival for that position is in P6 at the moment, also having a good race, is Andrex, and he's gone straight on the attack on Exited, only 0.3 of a second behind him at the moment. Exited forced even to go slightly defensive there through this right-hander. So both of those 2 guys looking strong. Andrex definitely has the chance to get a run here. Will he go for a dive up the inside? No. Doesn't feel like that was safe, I guess. Although he's looking so close, nearly pushing Exited around the hairpin. But Exited doesn't seem to be put off by just driving his line and holding on to 5th place for the moment. I'm just going to look on the gaps here to see if there's any particularly close battles. Maisie and Silver Arrow still going at it, actually, for 12th here. And with a Nick Meader now right behind as well in 14th. That's a close battle to keep an eye on. Claessen's dropped to 15th, so yeah, I believe he was ahead of Nick Meader previously. And down in, well, I thought it was a close battle for 19th, but there kind of still is. Nicholas Domino and Dazzy Oz pretty close together. Wait, no, that's wrong.
David Siska.
David Siska with Nicholas. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, okay.
Who is close?
I got very confused.
Yeah.
Very confused.
Vernex challenging Berserk there for a bit. There, looking to make a move into the final game, but he's not going to quite going to get it. Well, someone's off there. Is that one of the?
Microlander.
It is. It's Microlander.
Yeah, he's had a little rally cross trip there across the gravel.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
No, it's not, you know, the perfect way to do the course, but it's fun.
It's great for his race, but I'm sure he enjoyed the challenge of it. Actually, speaking of challenge, oh, that's the wrong way. Vernex on the attack on Berserkmere at the moment, but didn't go up inside there at the first corner, so has to stick it behind for now. But yeah, Vernex obviously qualified in the top 7, so should be looking to get through the field here. The Berserkmere putting up a nice defense at the moment. I'm just gonna go through the top 10 once again after 4.5 laps in this race. Laxo now after Sansuke, unfortunately lost out with his spin earlier on. A 3-second gap has formed, and behind Laxo is looking on for another win this season. I'm not sure, Phil, if you have the stats on how exactly many wins he's had, but there must be quite a few.
I could guess 5, 6.
I mean, we've had 7 rounds, so 14 races.
I want to guess 6, but that could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable, I suppose. 14 races, 6 wins for a man who is the crowned champion already for this season. Looking good there. Matt 2.8 now behind, actually. 2.9, 2.8. Yeah, it's changing a little bit here, but Matt doesn't seem to be too much slower, but Laxo doesn't seem to be challenged too much at the moment. Pops a couple of further seconds back in 3rd, and another second down to Tom Bridle, another second down to Exited. So it's starting to spread out a little bit here now in the top 7 at least. But then after P&K...
yeah. Got P&K and Jeff fighting each other very much, and Sansuke's caught up to the back of this lot as well. So it's a 3-way fight right now, and Sansuke's on the inside of Jeff in the final corner. He's going to lose out that right now with Jeff in the slipstream of P&K ahead, but Sansuke will dive back into the slipstream. Can he get the move done to turn 1, or will Jeff go defensive? We'll see now. As Sansuke dives down the inside, late on the brakes. Can he get that completed? He's going to be tight on the apex. Jeff's going to try and hold it around the outside. He's still there. He's still there. Can Sansuke now complete it on the outside? And he's going to have the momentum come out of this corner, but will he have enough to outbrake Jeff into this corner? They're going to run side by side again. Sansuke runs a tiny bit wide, but he's going to have a very compromised line through this corner, and Jeff can maintain his position there. And Sansuke has a wiggle, so Jeff is able to hold on. Very strong defensive work there from Jeff.
Man, I thought for a second Sansuke was going to go around the outside of both turn 2 and turn 3 to make that move, but Jeff held on outside of turn 4, and yeah, that little wiggle from Sansuke sort of ended, at least temporarily, that battle. That was some great racing from both those guys. Great, respectful, clean driving, which is what we like to see, of course. I did see an overtake down in 22nd, I think. Oh, no, actually, wait. Microlander challenging Vernix, I think.
That does seem to be the case, yeah. Well, we saw Microlander off the track, which is why he's behind, but obviously Micro thinking he's probably got the pace on Vernix at this point and is going to attempt to do some moves. We have Silver Arrow Maisie going side by side. Again, these two still fighting. Silver's going to probably have to back out here and try and set it up coming down the match straight. But no, looks like it's not going to be this time. And in fact, coming down the back straight, though, we do have Jeff again with P&K coming down. Is he going to try and move up into the side of the chicane? Probably not. That's going to be too difficult. As I say, it's not a heavy braking zone like it is on the F1 circuit. And Sansuke just clips a big curbstone there and has to wiggle and has to keep his car under control. Has to wiggle. He has to wiggle.
Has to wiggle.
If he didn't wiggle, he would be very disappointed.
Yeah. So Sansuke's had a few wiggles this race, hasn't he? He seems to enjoy a bit of wiggling at the moment in this race. So yeah, those guys close together. Was there any development?
And again?
Yep.
There's another wiggle. His car is compelled to wiggle.
Sansuke, the wiggle king at the moment, very impressive. Danger Ginetta actually under pressure a bit from Simon at the moment for the final top 10 position, so they're going to be running close through the stadium section as well. Not quite as side by side as the guys were on the previous lap, and Simon actually running slightly wider in that corner, which is going to end that challenge for now. Maisie right behind it, so a bit of a train actually from Danger Ginetta at the moment.
Yeah, it's these guys. Dangerous has been under pressure from Simon for quite a while, but hasn't been able to get that. Or Simon at least hasn't been able to get that pass done quite yet. And obviously there's the other train, which is the Jeff train a bit. Although actually no, it was the P&K train, wasn't it? But obviously, but now P&K is behind. Oh, so P&K is now at the rear of that train. So there must have been a mistake at some point. Oh, he's touched Sansuke. Sansuke has another wiggle. This one not of his own doing.
Man, P&K feeling like if Sansuke not had enough wiggle as he's drifting nearly through the Schumacher S as well. Sansuke luckily got away with that one though. That tiny contact shouldn't be enough for any damage to his car, I would have thought. So a little bit naughty from P&K. I guess he just misjudged the braking slightly, or the exit even with that. But yeah, no harm done. So they will both carry on. And
speaking of slightly misjudging the exit, Maisie got the exit wrong with the Schumacher S's, and Silver Arrow is finally ahead.
So that's been brewing for a little while actually. Yeah, so really took a mistake then for Silver to be able to make that move. And every time the leaders cross the line, this relative bar is very confusing. I wasn't expecting that the first time.
They're all leading.
Yeah, they're all leading. Yes, I guess Assetto Corsa is quite nice in that way. It wants to give everyone a chance of at least for a split second leading the race
Even
there.
we win at some point.
Yeah, it's amazing. Don't even do
I
anything.
lead at the start of the race usually.
That's kind of racing where you don't even have to do anything and you're still winning. Fantastic, love this. Gonna jump down to 19th actually, which is Nicholas Domino and David Siska still going at it a little bit. It's only a couple of tenths between them, down to the braking zone for turn 1, but David again not choosing to make any sort of rash moves up the inside there.
Yeah.
Is it points down to 20th?
Something?
Actually.
Is it points down to 20th? That's an interesting question. I'm fairly sure that is the case. Do you want to know something interesting?
Sure.
That you've probably not heard this race before. Is
Go for it.
Sansuke's had a wiggle.
Oh really?
And he's lost position down to 10th.
Oh dear. Oh, so he's dropped 2
so
positions.
it was a bit of a major wiggle.
Must have been a big one, yeah.
Major wiggle.
Did you see it? Do you want to explain it? Do you want to describe
I didn't see it. I'm just going to assume it was a wiggle.
It must have been.
It must have been a wiggle.
The safe bet
is
is on the wiggle.
The safe bet is the wiggle. And yeah, he's now behind Dangerous Ginetta, who, as we saw with Simon, it's not too easy to pass Dangerous anywhere around this circuit, seemingly.
Well, he's an experienced guy. I know him from the Project Cast leagues as well. He isn't always the fastest, but he's always a very clean, respectful, solid driver in the field. And yeah, up in the top 10 at the moment. It's a pretty solid race again from the Danger Man. But might be put under pressure from Sasuke though, who we know he's got the pace. He took pole position, of course, but isn't close enough to challenge into the chicane. Not really a corner where you'd want to particularly be side by side anyway, so Sasuke probably hoping now to potentially line Dangerous Ginetta up for a move on the main straight, the longest straight on the circuit, and it's looking pretty close coming out of the final corner. I'm not quite sure, Phil, how the slipstream effect, how powerful that is in these cars.
Well, it's certainly existent, but it's not super. It's not a huge gain being in the slipstream, but you do gain more in the slipstream than you lose being in the. Oh, Sansuke is just trying a little bit too ambitious there, being on the inside of turn 2. Quite a bit late up the inside.
Ginetta's lost it as well.
Big wiggle. Oh, he has. So Sansuke, is he going to wait?
Yeah.
It looks like he's just going to park it there and wait for Dangerous Ginetta to finally get going. But both these guys are going to drop right down the order.
Damn. So Sansuke has the pace today, but has not at all been able to stay out of trouble. Whether that be, you know, wiggles, losing a bit of time, or spins, contact, all sorts of things. He's had it all so far this race, and unfortunately that has put him outside of the points at the moment, outside the top 20. Just behind actually another man who dropped a lot of places at the start of the race, Vernox, who is also, he's not really made the progress through the field as I would have expected from Vernox, considering he qualified in 7th place, only 20th at the moment. But yeah, I guess if it stays like this, Vernox and Sasuke definitely 2 guys to potentially watch out for in the reverse grid race, or is that based on qualifying? I forgot.
It is based on the finishing position.
Okay. Yeah, so that could be interesting. That could be at least.
So long as you finish the race. It's not even lapped cars, it's just if you finish the race, you get to get reversed.
Fair enough. Yeah, so just to answer the guy, well, Mini Mariner already answered him in the chat. Hoyak asking if this was the first or the second race. We are still on the first race of the night. There will be a second race coming up. There is 4 more laps to go, though, in this first race. And just to go back to the front, Laxo still leading, but actually the gap has closed down by about 3 or 4 tenths since a few laps ago. So Matt definitely has the pace, unless Laxo's just taking it easy, just chilling it out a bit. And not really any point, I guess, to push ultra hard for him when he's got a solid gap that he can just control. Maybe a bit of a tire saving, just making sure he gets to the end with no problems there. But yeah, Matt looking good for 2nd place, which is also the position he's trying to get in the championship as it stands, with Andrex down in 5th at the moment. Matt will move up to 2nd place in the championship, ahead of the final race of the season. There was only 6 points between them in Andrex's favour, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the points gap between 2nd and 5th there will change that around.
It will, but it will still probably be closer than it was before, just in the other direction.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is good. Yeah, it's very good.
Andrex will, of course, be starting ahead in the 2nd race. by a few positions if it stays like this, even though both of them will be starting quite a bit down the field. But from what I've gathered, actually, from just watching the broadcasts earlier in the season, I know that Andrex tends to be pretty good at working his way through the traffic in the second race.
He is indeed. He is indeed. Yeah, he is one of the better ones outside of Laxo for doing so. Laxo's a bit of a machine when it comes to moving through the field. But yeah, Andrex certainly up there in terms of ability. Matt's actually not bad at it himself. There's a couple of guys that do just take it a little bit easier, knowing that they don't want to be causing any incidents here and there. Usually it's the reserve people that aren't in the championship fight that sort of just try to keep their nose clean. But yeah, both those guys, as I say, Laxo and Andrex, very good at working their way through the field on race number 2. And we always look forward to Laxo on the reverse grid because it's, you know, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's usually good.
Has he had a double win yet?
You will keep on asking me these very interesting questions that I should know the answer to.
Well,
oh, by the way, we were at Barcelona last time.
Oh, were we? Oh, so it wasn't Silverstone.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Took you long enough to figure that out.
I know.
But fair
I
enough.
actually worked it out about, I don't know,
Well,
a long time ago.
the coordinator didn't even know it, so I mean, you can't really blame me. Oh, actually, that's battling for 10th. Silver Arrow and Maisie nearly side-by-side. I think they were briefly side-by-side through turn 1 there.
They certainly were, and 2 for a bit.
Yeah, Maisie
Not
trying
3-3.
to make it 2-3, but yeah, not quite there. And dropping a bit of time on the exit. So I can't remember, was that a pass by Silver, or was he already ahead? I think he was already ahead, wasn't he?
He was still ahead. He was already ahead. Yeah, Maisie just sitting behind. He's closed the gap. He was a bit further behind when I last checked, but then he was side by side, so he's obviously closed the gap.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Silver's not falling off the back of Simon. It's just Maisie's got some pace right now.
Yeah. Maisie looking quite strong. Another man, obviously, there are quite a few drivers in the field, which I'm familiar with from the Project Cars Leagues, the GT3 cars there, Maisie being one of them. I seem to remember beating him to the podium in Watkins Glens in the first season of that. Just thought I'd point that out. But anyway. Yeah, good to see a bunch of familiar names. Silver Arrow, another one of those. Those two fighting for 10th at the moment. 2 AOR veterans, I guess it's fair to say at this point. Nick Meadow behind them is driving in the F1 leagues at the moment. Quite a different car to this Porsche, but he seems to be doing reasonably well in this car as well. He's got a bit of a gap at the moment to Dazzy Oz, who is a little bit of Dazzy Oz trainer actually. Claessen's only just a second behind, another second down to Meekster, Nicholas Domino. A further couple of seconds. Vernox up to 17th now. He's gained a few positions actually. I think a couple of cars have dropped down. There's Vernox and Sansuke have gained a couple.
Yeah, not in relation to those, but I do know that Pops has also dropped down. Not all the way, so he hasn't helped those guys out at the back there, but Pops has dropped from, where was he? Was he 3rd or 4th?
Oh yeah. He must have been 3rd or 4th. One of those two.
He had a slow lap at 2:12, which is about 10 seconds or 11 seconds off the pace, so he's fallen back behind Jeff, because I was sitting there thinking, I'm fairly sure Jeff wasn't in 6th, and I'm fairly sure Andrex was in 5th. But in fact, Andrex is now in 4th, so he's helping his 2nd place championship cause by being up 1 more position.
Definitely, yeah. So that does, of course, mean that Andrex and Matt will start even closer to each other on the reverse grid as it stands. But yeah, nice extra few points there for Andrex if he stays like this. He has got exited actually less than a second behind, so it's not set yet for Andrex to get his 4th place in this race. Has to make sure to keep his cool there and not make any mistakes, because then exited will be right there to try and take it from him. And Jeff as well, not too far back either. So the pressure's still on as there's just over a lap to go in this race. Good to see if there's any super close battles. I think the closest we got at the moment might be Nicholas Domino, who's got 2 fast guys closing in just behind Vernox and Sansuke, both trying to grab as many extra points as they can here after their mistakes earlier in the race. And could be a tough task for Nicholas Airfield to hold on to this 16th place.
Yeah, as you say, they are two fast guys, and especially Sansuke, pole sitter extraordinaire, currently running in that position, and he's not far behind. But the thing is, well, Nicholas Domino. Oh, as I say that, Nicholas Domino makes a mistake. That's going to give them. No, he's not going to give them positions because both of them have checked up very nicely to avoid any incident. But yeah, no, Nicholas Domino's saving grace is the fact that Sansuke is faster than Vernux, so he'll probably hoping that Sansuke catches Vernux and battles him before Vernux can catch him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so can that happen? Who knows? As he's going. Both of them run very deep. So that's going to give Sansuke a better line through here, and he's going to be up and challenging around the outside here of turn 2, and he's absolutely.
Vernux doing the Suzuki Biggle.
That one. Yeah. I wonder how it was so easy. So that's actually exactly what Nicholas Domino did not want, was Sansuke easily getting through Vernux, and now Nicholas Domino has got Sansuke challenging him all over. And speaking of challenging, Jeff is not far behind Exeter here.
That's a very good point, actually. I might have to jump up to that one, because that's for P5 in the race. Only 3/10 between them as we go through the Schumacher race on the final lap of the race. Just going to check in on Laxo, actually. He's got to 2.5 now. Matt has closed even further on Laxo here at the end of the race, but a little bit too far back to really... I mean, you can't exactly do dive bomb from 1.5 back.
That's Tom Bridle. Tom Bridle's gone off in 3rd position. That's given Andrex the podium. And there's Jeff side by side with Tom Bridle for 5th now. Oh, poor Tom Bridle's dropped. Oh, he's dropped 3 positions on the final lap.
Oh,
he's given up a podium.
That's very disappointing for Tom
Bridle.
Bridle.
Laxo. Yeah, that's Laxo across the line. Boom. Laxo wins from Matt. Andrex is going to get 3rd. So that's exactly what we needed for this championship, because Matt's going to close it down, but that's probably going to be about 1 point difference between them also coming into the final race. So that's fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch both of them having to make their way through the field as well. Jeff crossing line in 4th.
Try and work it out if you can. It's a bit difficult.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I think Exeter might have been 4th with Jeff 5th, Tom Bridle 6th, Pop 7, PNK 8, Simon 9, Silver Arrow 10, Maisie 11. So Maisie didn't get silver, and silver didn't get Simon. Nick Mido apparently is in 12th.
Atsuka did get Nicholas Domino for 16th, and Domino spins across the line very gracefully to take 17th ahead of Vernux.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good race.
It was alright.
Oh my word, we're seeing still.
What have we got happening? It was just what we got. Yeah, crazy.
What is going on here?
This is the end of race nonsense.
It is just like watching the end of Formula Renault race as well in iRacing.
Yes.
Very nice.
Perfectly.
Nice. I like it.
Still got a few guys going around on their final laps, all a bit spread out, so you don't expect anything to happen. But Dangerous Ginetta Dangerous Ginetta in 27th. Is that further back than he was?
Yeah, he would definitely.
Oh, because he had the spin with Sansuke, didn't he?
But he's dropped even further since then.
Yeah. So that's a shame for him. Emin Baboglu coming across in 28th. Berserkmere coming through the final chicane now into the final corner. And then Schumacher Adrian rounding out. Oh no, not Schumacher Adrian rounding out the last cars, because actually we have Ricardo Machella, who will be the last car across the line coming into the final chicane now, and he will be pole sitter for the race 2.
Man, 31 cars reversed for the second race coming up. That's gonna be something to watch. Yeah, I mean, I thought this race was relatively action-packed. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what we're about to witness in the second race here. Oh, Ricardo had to avoid a lovely donut doing a car there. There's more donuts being done. Find the person that's doing them. A bit tricky. Oh, there we go. It's Astrid doing some lovely donuts. The exit at turn 1. Getting slightly bumped around as well. But yeah, that was good. I'm actually going to give it's been a crazy amount of new followers during this race, actually. I'm just going to give a shout out to everyone who has pressed the follow. Caden Loader, I can't remember if I said him already, but thank you for the follow. The Wolf Shark 69, Kirill 750, Russ, Eamon Bro, Hugo 5275, Lucas Remy 095, Can 06677, God, lots of numbers. Gabriel Renair, Flight Service, interesting. Carrot128, Alan Parses, man. Thank you all for the follow and the support. Glad you're enjoying the racing at the moment.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And Footsie
Yes.
had an IWAP 1 ace and PNK as well, man. Flying in at the moment. So yeah, it's been good fun so far, and I guess now we wait the 30 seconds for the second reverse grid race to commence.
Yes. Some top quality insight from me there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And as always,
Expert
I'll run down. I am. Well, that's just what I'm known for, isn't it?
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, once we get the countdown done, I will run through the race number 2 reverse grid setup.
Oh yeah.
We shall see how it goes. And one thing I wanted to know actually from that last race is, unfortunately, we did have Pedro with us at the start in the qualifying, but he did seem to disappear. Because I was wondering where Pedro was, and it turns out he just didn't compete in the race, it seems. So Pedro not here again, which is a shame, because we know Pedro is pretty decent in these cars.
You like Pedro?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, who doesn't?
Good point. Take us through the grid, Phil.
I might. We'll see.
All right.
Okay, so on the pole position, as I said, it is Ricardo Machera, with Humaga Adrian lining up next to him in 2nd place. Berserkmere in 3rd, who saw slightly higher up than the 29th position he must have finished in at one point, so he dropped down there, but it'll be interesting to see how he goes in this race. Emin Barbaoglu in 4th, with Dangerous Ginetta in 5th. Morvik will be one to watch, possibly, although he does seem to have been struggling a little bit here, with his qualifying only putting him in 20th position, so he starts in 6th. Mr. Alcon in 7th, with Centro in 8th. Heinze in 9th. Centro actually going to be an interesting one to watch, because he qualified in, I believe it was 12th.
Yeah, he must have dropped quite a bit in the...
And then he flew, and then he went flying.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So he qualified in 12th, so yeah, he must have dropped down to a bit. But so he'll be an interesting one to watch for sure, with Heinze in 9th, as I said, and Astrid Aslani, Mr. Defense himself, in 10th. Mike Rolander in 11th, with David Siska in 12th. Nostra in 13th, so he's pulled up. He's not quite starting next to his teammate this time, but close enough. With Vernux in 14th, and Nicholas Domino 15th. Sensuke, our pole sitter from last time, having a little bit of a struggle, but starting in 16th, you've got to suspect that Sensuke is going to be one of challenging for the wins this time in this race. Mixter in 17th, with Clarsons in 18th. Daz Oz, or Dazzy Oz, in 19th, with Nick Mido 20th. Maisie in 21st, couldn't quite get past Silverair in 22nd, who himself couldn't get past Simon, who is 23rd. P&K 24th, with Pops having a little bit of a struggle towards the end of the race. At some point we missed it, but he starts in 25th, with Tom Bridle in 26th. Jeff is 27th, taking a decent position after moving himself up due to some issues from other people, with Exited in 28th. Andrex getting the podium, or the 3rd place podium position, starting in 29th, ahead of his 2nd place title rival. Is it a title rival in 2nd place? Is that what you call it?
Let's go for
2nd place title rival next to him on the grid in 30th, with Laxo rounding out the grid in 31st, and we shall do the exact same as we did last time.
Oh yeah, this should be exciting. Laxo, the already crowned champion, from the back of the field. The guys fighting for 2nd place in the championship on the 2 places ahead of him, and here we go. I'm gonna go back to the pits and into 3rd position, which is currently Phil. And there we go.
Yeah.
So track cameras, and here we go. Into turn 1 with Ricardo Machera, and that is Adrian going up into the lead. Actually on the inside, a car on the grass there a little bit on the braking zone.
Couple of cars around, a few contacts there in the background.
Lots of cars spinning around.
We have Sansuke unfortunately caught up in it. We have a few other cars caught up in it. I'll try and run through them all. I think Laxo possibly caught up, maybe? No, Laxo not caught up, in fact. Seems to have got away with it. But yeah, there's a few cars that just got caught up in that, which is a bit of a shame. Sansuke definitely being one of them. And yeah, let's see if hopefully we can all get all the rest of this clean through the rest of the race.
Yeah, that was definitely started quite high up the field actually. Whatever caused that kind of change reaction, I think a few guys just wasn't able to avoid it. So yeah, a shame for whoever got caught up. Then Berserkmir is down in 30th at the moment, so he obviously started quite high up, so he will definitely have been involved in that one. It looks like Andrex has not gotten too well away from it, actually, because he's 26th. I mean, he might have avoided it, but Matt is up into 18th already, making the move on Silver Arrow there as well on the first lap. So Matt has gotten a much better start than Andrex, 8 positions ahead now after starting, 1 position behind. So fantastic start of this race for Andrex. Laxo is up to 21st at the moment, actually, behind Exited, his Neon Racing teammates. So might not put up too much of a fight if Laxo wants to get that position. But yeah, definitely very interesting here at the start of the race. Jamaga Adrian, as we saw at the start, taking the lead into turn 1. Danger Ginetta could be a challenger in second at the moment. Are you seeing anything?
Am I seeing anything? I'm seeing Andrex trying on the inside of Jeff into the final chicane. That's going to be tricky.
Oh, there's a big crash between Morvik and another car. Couldn't quite catch. Oh, there's another crash behind as well. Further, a couple of cars off the track. There's been 2 independent crashes.
Exit Pops was in that second one. Morvik and, as you say, someone else were involved in another one. That's a shame. We've got a 3 wide coming down the main straight. Though. We've got Sansuke on the inside of Dazioz, who's not quite alongside Nostra ahead, but that's going to be 3 wide. And there's going to be Sansuke down the inside. He knows he's going to go for it. And oh, he almost into the back of Laxo, but is he going to get that done? He's going to be wide, and Nostra's going to come fight back. They both stayed ahead of Dazioz at least, or well, Sansuke's past Dazioz. Yeah, that seems all. There's a couple of bits going on out there. Astra Aslani versus PNK side by side for 10th position here. PNK on the inside now, must have held it around the outside. Well, he did hold it around the outside of turn 4. He's on the inside of 5, and Astra is going to have to concede that position. And Nick Stolen not too far behind. Simon not too far behind. Matt not too far behind. All of them not too far behind.
Yeah, so Matt up to 14th at the moment. Championship Barrel for second. Andrex down in 22nd still. So still 8 positions between them. And exactly showing the championship gap. But I think basically whoever finishes ahead here is going to get that second place. So Matt looking good at the moment as he's side by side with Simon, actually going up towards the Schumacher S, and Simon side by side with Astrid and Solani, and they get through into there cleanly. Astrid has to back out of it. Simon gets up to P12 with a Matt trying to follow straight through. Bit of side by side behind as well. That actually Tom Bridle looking on the inside of Matt, forcing him to take a slightly wider line that he might have wanted there, but gets away with that one. And
he does, as I see, Ricardo Machera, who was in around 4th or 5th, has spun out and he's dropped way down to the back now. Didn't see what caused that, but yeah, as you say, there's quite a few cars between Andrex and Matt, but not a lot of track between them. So even though Andrex may have had a little bit of a slow start, he isn't exactly far behind. Oh,
where did
Astrid
just disappeared as we went into the chicane?
Disappeared. Oh, there he goes. He's dropping down the order now. Let's see if I can find him before he disappears.
24th, right at the back of the whole queue.
Yeah, it looks like he's just had a mistake, which is a great shame for him, but it happens. And what we see? So we see Laxo not too far behind. Laxo's already up into 14th, so Laxo's had a strong start again. Centro in 13th. I saw Centro higher up the field. He wasn't.
Oh, Humaga Adrian from second place. He was leading the race earlier. Danger Zeta did get past him on track, but now he has had a big spin into the first part of the lap. And he's back in the pits. He's retired from this race. The man who started right towards the front. That's a big shame for him. So he's looking on for some potentially good points, but this has given Danger Ginetta a solid 2.5 second gap out in front, ahead of Microlander, with another couple of seconds down to Claessens, who is in 3rd, and then there's a big scrap for 4th, 5th, and 6th. That is Nick Mido, along with PNK actually. Nick Mido on the outside. Oh, and slightly deep actually from Mixta as well, which has put Nick Mido out wide and slightly into the gravel, dropping him down to 7th position. Niklas Domino being opportunistic and taking that away from him. So a lot of action, and I think there's more battling a little bit further back with Vernox in 9th, and then that is Matt now into the top 10 just behind as well. That means he's gotten himself ahead of Tom Bridle. Andrex meanwhile still down in 16th, so now 6 positions separating them, and in between the two of them, along with quite a few other cars, is Laxo as well.
Yeah, Laxo's just pulled a really nice move on Tom Bridle. Sansuke tried to follow through as well, but Centro, I should say. And Centro able to hold off Sansuke, but Laxo with the very dominant move, pushing himself up another position as Andrex not too far behind this group. The battling obviously helping Andrex to stay with them. He's not too far behind Matt. In fact, Matt's going side by side with something. He's attempting to pass Vernix. He's going to have a better exit through the final corner. He's going to be side by side into turn 1, down the main straight. Here he comes. He's just about alongside. In fact, yes, and he's gaining every time. Every meter he's gaining, he's going to go down the inside. Is he going to be able to outbrake? Oh, he's going to try and hold around the outside. And this is tight between the two of them, but Vernix looks like he's going to hold it around the outside. But can Matt do the same now? He's going to have the momentum, but is he going to run too wide here? He looks like he's got on the throttle a bit early. He's on the AstroTurf. He's off the track. And now Laxo, is he going to attempt to dive down the inside? Matt's going to be a bit wide. He's gone very wide. He's going to lose that position to Laxo. Is he going to try and down the inside? No, he can't from there. So Matt loses a position, which is not exactly what he wanted. And now he's only 3 cars ahead of Andrex. There's only 2 cars. It's about the same distance on track, but there's only 2 cars between them. So the point's different. It's getting smaller every time, but obviously we think anyway that Andrex has to finish ahead. I'm not sure if anyone has a live score update on that situation, but I'd like to know if we can.
Would be good if anyone can check that. I am a little bit too busy to check it myself, unfortunately. Battle for 4th, actually, Meeksta and PNK very, very close together through the hairpin, and actually Nick Miro basically shoving Nicholas Domino through the Schumacher S at the moment in the battle for 6th. They couldn't be any closer unless they were side by side. And
they might be.
Which they might be. No, not quite brave enough on the brakes there.
But speaking of side by side, P&K and Meeksta, as you were talking about earlier, going side by side through this corner. Meeksta ran a little bit wide into the previous corner, and now P&K is going to get that move done. He's going to have the momentum all the way up the straight now. You expect that position to be completed. Is Nick Milo close enough to challenge Nicholas Domino into this final corner? No, probably not. Although, is he gonna? No, he's gonna back out very sensibly. Although Nicholas Domino's gonna run a little bit deep. Is he gonna run side by side through there on the exit? Oh, that's tight. But it looks like he's gonna get that done. But is he gonna run wide here? Nicholas Domino's gonna have the opportunities to be on the inside, but he won't have a very good exit out of this corner. In fact, Nick Miller's just gonna drive away now, and Nicholas Domino's gonna have to be probably slightly more wary of Simon from behind, and Laxo is right up behind Simon.
Yeah, and Laxo might fancy some kind of move here. Nicholas moving to the inside to defend from Simon. Actually, Laxo is kind of behind a roadblock at the moment in the braking zone. Trying to move the inside though, trying to get a cut underneath on Simon there, but not quite able to do it unless he's going to be able to hold it around the outside of turn 2. He's certainly trying. He was just about within the limits. Oh, and did it! Laxo pulling off a fantastic move there to get himself up to P8 in this race. Just about keeping it clean there as well. Very close indeed. And where has Matt gone? He's still behind Vernix. Man, it was frustration for him earlier on as he tried to pass Vernix, instead got passed by Laxo, and is still staring at the back of that white and black Porsche ahead of him. So Vernix, we know he's fast, of course. He qualified at 7th in the first race, so he's definitely not the ideal man to try to pass there for Matt.
No, that's the one thing that Laxo can do. He's like, sure, he's got a little bit more pace than that, but he's able to get those moves precisely and very efficiently done. Seemingly all the time he's able to make aggressive but not over the line moves. And who we've got now? There's P&K off the road. So P&K was running in 2nd or 3rd, I believe, or maybe in 4th, challenging Microland, I think he might have been, and has dropped down behind Andrex. So that gives Andrex another point. Obviously gives Matt another point. And Andrex has a little bit of wiggle. He's chasing after his one-time hero Sansuke.
Yep, same for PNK. Was looking for a solid race, and actually, yeah, he's going to be put immediately under pressure from Jeff, who's moving ahead towards the fast chicane. PNK might not want to stay side by side with her. I reckon he's going to back out of this one, and he does indeed. Slots into the single file through the chicane, and that is down to 15th for him. Potentially some position changes. I think Matt has finally gone past Vernix actually in the final part of this lap, and that means he might have to defend though, because Vernix is still close, but I think Matt just about has got this, with a Centro just chilling in behind as well. Slightly, a big wiggle actually from Vernix in the brake zone. I must have locked the rear tire slightly there. But yeah, finally Matt makes the move, and now it's Andrex's turn to well, first he has to make the move on Silver and Centro, and then potentially it's his turn to make the move on Vernix as well.
Yeah, we'd like to see that just to make it even more close than it already is. Laxo really putting the pressure on Nicholas Domino, although Nicholas is not cracking under the pressure. So this is going to be something that Laxo is going to have to deal with to try and get past. We've seen Nicholas in the past being very strong defensively, being able to just take his lines and not being phased by the car behind. Will that be the same? Because we know that Laxo's pace difference to Nicholas is probably quite large, especially towards the end of the race, where Laxo does seem to pick up a lot of pace. And he's almost pushing him through this corner, as you've said a few times. He's right up behind him. He's probably going to have to back out here. Or is he going to try it? Oh, it's nowhere. Even Laxo's not going to try something there, really, though, unless he had like such a good run as always. Yeah. But here he looks like he's got a good run. This might be he's attempted this move around the outside a few times and he's made it stick a few times. But Nicholas does very well to break late, but that's going to set Laxo off around this corner. If Laxo can get a decent exit, he could challenge, although he just runs a little bit wide and has a little bit of understeer through the corner, and he won't be in a position, I don't think anyway, to pass into the chicane. He's got a good run, and Nicholas finds himself defensive. He's not can't get the outside here, surely.
He's daring. He's daring.
And he's wow.
Oh, what a move! Laxo again, super impressive. That's not an easy place to overtake, but he just the tiny little braking zone that there was, he just made sure to get his nose ahead. And if anyone was going to back out there, it was going to be Nicholas. And ultimately, he was forced to do so. And actually, he's going to be put under pressure now from Simon as well, who might move to the inside. Nicholas seems nice. And oh, my God, that's very late.
He's saying, Laxo, look, I know you're pretty good on the brakes, but watch me. And then, so Nick's done a great job not to hit Laxo. As soon as I saw him running that deep, I thought, oh no, that could be curtains for that race. But no, he did a great job to actually survive both himself and also not take out Laxo as well. So good job.
Good job indeed. So he remains then ahead of Simon, but he's going to be under pressure now. Actually, I think there was a position swap down towards outside the point somewhere. You can see just a few names moving around. Maisie's in 22nd actually.
I think it might have been Maisie.
Yeah, Sansuke is down in 24th. He must have had a big problem. He was running 14th. There was definitely somewhere in this massive midfield scrap earlier on. So 2 bad races for Sansuke. He's had the pace, but he's not had the I don't know, situations in the race. It's kind of gone against him. Not really sure what's caused him to drop all the way down there in this race though.
No, I'm not 100% sure. Have we had a live update on the scores yet between Matt and Andrex? Or at least what the scores were after the first race. That's all we need. Oh, there's a slide there. And is that Simon? It is. Simon's dropped back, and I think that's given Matt the position. I think he was fighting Matt. Whether there was some issue between them or not, I'm not 100% sure. But now Andrex is on the inside of Silver Arrow here, and coming down the main straight. Is he gonna? Yes, I think he'll probably have this position done. Coming down into the final chicane. In fact, he does. So Andrex makes a move on Silver. Once again, putting 2 cars between himself and Matt. And now he's got to fight Centro and Bernat. And Matt himself is trying to put another car in between them by facing off with Nicholas Domino for 6th or 7th position.
Yeah. So it seems like whenever Matt makes a move, Andrex is able to also make a move back there. It's been around 3 positions between them for a while. Matt, though, as you said, trying to make another move, has to go around the outside of Nicholas, who is not giving up at all in these battles. But Matt forcing himself to the inside. Oh, there's a big spin! Oh, no! Matt is going to spin around onto the grass. Huge drama here in the final race of the season. That's going to drop him back behind Andrex, his championship rival. It's going to be side by side, actually, with Exited as they come out of the stadium section here. And it's going to be on the outside. Will he get the run to at least hold on to that position? That's 16th position he is fighting for now, and he has got his car back ahead of Exited. But yeah, that is a big shift in this race, in that battle for 2nd place in the championship. I mean, I wish I could have focused also on other battles in the championship, but there's just so many of them and so many drivers and cars to sort of remember that this was sort of the one that stuck in my mind. And obviously that is the highest championship position that is up for grabs still, with Laxo having wrapped it up already. But yeah, Andrex all of a sudden by far in the driving seat with 7 positions now between them in his favor.
Yeah. It's all good stuff. It's,
Yeah.
so it's all good. Well, it's all good stuff for Andrex. But yeah, Matt, unfortunately with that, one who isn't sure exactly why it happened or whether someone was at fault. Probably just one of those little racing incident type accidents. But yeah, Matt's certainly not slow.
Oh,
we know that.
Sorry.
Can he make more positions up? Oh,
I'm seeing Exeter just driving around on the barrier / gravel / grass.
Maybe he thought he was like central and could fly. Tried to go over the barrier in the same place. It would have been the same place, but well, he hit. I'm guessing he hit the barrier.
Yeah.
Because he can't fly.
He definitely touched it. I don't think it was too heavy though. At least when I skipped onto him. Actually, battle for 4th place. Battles absolutely everywhere at the moment. I think Micro Lander already going up the inside. Oh no, this is for 3rd even. Actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Gets that position. So Micro Lander moved himself up into the podium positions. Who have we got? So we still have Dangerous leading. So Dangerous is doing a very good job. Clarkson's not too far behind. In fact, Clarkson's setting some very, very strong pace right now. Both those guys at the front running really strong pace, especially compared to where they were in qualifying, running in the low 2 minutes, 2 minute deads. So they're faster than basically everyone else on track, apart from Laxo, of course, who decides that running in the 159s is more appropriate to the kind of person he is.
Sure. Oh, we're gonna have nearly 3 wide. I'm not even sure where on track this is, but
oh my lord, where are we?
Are we somewhere at the start of the second sector?
Yeah, it's Matt, it's Dazioz, it's Heinze, it's Pops, and yeah, and Jeff. Jeff's there as well, so Matt has to be wary of Jeff. Although actually, I think Matt has he made that move on Jeff because he is up into 15th now.
Yeah,
and Jeff's trying to fight back around the outside of the hairpin. This is tricky, and in fact, Matt's going to decide. No, I'm going to attempt to move on Dazioz instead. But it looks like Dazioz will probably have the momentum out this corner. Can Matt hold it around the outside here? And that's a tricky. That's a tall ask.
He's gonna try it.
Is he going to get it? Oh, nice. Lovely move from Matt to move himself up ahead of Dazioz. It's so easy to just run wide once you get off the racing line and you just get less grip. You can easily run wide off the circuit. But Matt is doing a strong job to attempt to find his way back up to where he needs to be.
Yeah. Very, very impressive. Still got work to do though. Andrex up in 8th at the moment. We got side by side here. Still, actually, I'm going to jump into 5th place because Laxo's right on the back of Nick Meadows, run wide on the final corner. Laxo just sneaks through underneath him. Naxo knocks him out, although it might not be permanent because he is forced to go very much defensive down the main straight here to start lap 10 out of 13 in the final race of the season. Laxo on the inside. Nick Meadows trying to go very late on the brakes around the outside. Laxo, though, should have the race car needed to stay ahead, and it does indeed. So Nick Meadows down to P6 at the moment. And Laxo up in 5th. He's got 4 laps now to make 4 passes, and he's going to go straight for the move on Miksa immediately, actually, on the outside, coming out of the stadium. He's going to probably cut underneath. A bit of contact there, actually, I believe, between the two of them. Just a little bit of a nudge. So Laxo wanted the Miksa to go slightly faster around the corner, and they're going to remain side by side. Laxo, though, on the outside, because he's going to have to be later on the brakes and make sure part of his car stays alongside, but he isn't able to do it, actually. Miksa defending very well here.
Duns it wide, so now Laxo's going to have that run back down.
Yeah.
And Laxo will probably get this done into the hairpin. And I believe I have an update for the point situation between Matt and Andrex. I think Nostra had tried to work it out and started working it out. I believe after that race before, the gap between the two was 2 points, with Andrex in the lead.
Ooh.
Yes, and the points. So the points, where would they be if they finish now? Well, Andrex obviously would take that being ahead in the points already. So Matt, whatever happens, he needs to finish ahead of Andrex, which at this moment in time is looking relatively unlikely, although he's not too far behind really on track, but with 3 or 4 laps, well, 3 laps to go really. So tall ask for Matt.
It is indeed. It's going to be tough for Matt to first of all make 5 passes to just get up to the back of Andrex, and then also past Andrex and potentially another car. I think just being ahead of him should be 2 points. Although, actually, I'm going to jump up to the front because Claessens has closed in on the race leader, Dangerous Ginetta. I don't know what the situation is, whether these guys have had any other wins this season.
I can tell you that Dangerous Ginetta has not, I believe.
No. You know about
I believe
Claessens?
he has had a couple of thirds. Claessen's, I think, might have. I'm just going to have a look through. Yes, I can. I can do that, I believe. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I can do that.
Yeah, either
I
way,
want to
though.
find his name.
Both of them surely really want his final win of the season, as Ginetta forced to actively defend there, actually, with just over 2.5 laps to go in the race, 2.5 laps to go in the season. And there is a battle for the lead of the race. Dangerous Ginetta and Claessen's two experienced guys from the Project Cars leagues. I'm sure they've been experienced enough in Assetto Corsa as well. And these guys battling it out now for the front of the pack. There are only 4 tenths between them, but at the moment, Ginetta holding a ground, not putting a foot wrong. But it just seems that Claessen's has a tiny bit more pace, considering he has been able to close him up in the last few laps. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. There seems to be actually, Claessen's, well, it might have been the end of a battle, because Laxo is up to 3rd place ahead of Microlander now as well. Unfortunately, he's got 4 seconds though up to the lead battles. I don't think it's going to be the first, double race win in one night of the season, because Wycombs himself confirmed earlier on that there hasn't been one. Laxo's had a P1 and a P2, so has Ansuke, I believe. But there has not yet been anyone winning both races on the same night. So Laxo's got quite a bit of work to do. He needs to close 2 seconds a lap and make 2 passes if he wants to make it happen there. You never know though, these guys could have it coming together if they fight very hard for this win. Dangerous Ginetta looking good at the moment, as I'm seeing. Oh, I thought there were people battling for 8th, but that was just the scoreboard confusing me again.
Oh. It does that. It does that to everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
that's what it does.
Good.
Does Claessen's have a different name on the forum at all?
Yeah, he's called Xenon on the forum.
Xenon.
Quite confused.
Xenon.
Xenon. X-E-E-N-O.
Xenon. 91.
91. Indeed.
Okay. So, no, just to clarify, neither of these two running in the top 2 have had a win this season.
Interesting. So, both of them on for, fighting for their first win in this league. And that means
I can tell you that, yeah.
Motivation.
So, Claessen's has finished 2nd before.
Okay.
And Dangerous, I believe, has finished in 3rd twice, or at least once. At least one, yeah. Dangerous has finished 3rd, and Claessen's has finished 2nd. So, that'll look like, well, Claessen's will want this even more.
Yeah. Race win is what it's all about. And Claessen's is drifting! Oh, what a save from him there! I was not sure he was going to keep hold of the control of the car there. Massive drift, definitely going to drop him out of... well, if this was F1, he would now be out of DRS range, because he's over a second behind all of a sudden. So he's dropped about a second with that massive drift. Really kudos for saving that car, but yeah, that's going to make it much more difficult now. Ease the pressure a bit on Dangerous Ginetta for the win of this race. He's got over a second. He just needs to keep doing what he's been doing. The man in the lead of the race, if he drives like he has, doesn't make a mistake, he is the race winner of the final round of the season. So, want to keep an eye out for. Laxo is also closing in, but not quite close enough. He's about 2 seconds behind Claessen's. Obviously, that the rate of closing has been helped as well by Claessen's slide. Microlander doing a pretty good job of actually holding on to Laxo, considering their pace difference. And actually, battle for 11th, Matt. And
Matt's got Vernox.
Yeah.
Matt has got him. He was. Or has he? You're right. It's side by side, and it looks like he has, in fact, got that. A little bit of bargy, but that's what you like in these kind of cars. Just a little bit of door rubbing and paddle rubbing here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like he's got that move done.
Nice.
Or has he? Because Vernox looking to fight back.
Well, Vernox flashing the lights a little bit there. He definitely wants a position back, you would have thought. But yeah, Matt having that at the moment. Of course, he's looking not good though for Matt in terms of getting 2nd place in the championship. 3 places further up the road. Matt can see Andrex further down the straight, but Andrex is looking strong at the moment with just half a lap of the race to go. Claessen's is closing Ginetta back down after his slide. It's less than a second again. 6 tenths. He's closing visibly under braking as well. pressure is on for Ginetta to hold on to his first win in the league. Claessen's pushing super hard to try and take it away from him and get himself a first win in the league instead. The crowned champion Laxo sitting there on the final podium position back there just to be ready to take the win if these guys were to come together here in the final couple of corners, just a chicane and the final long right-hander for Ginetta to round. He's going to park his car in the middle of the track. I mean, I don't think he really would have expected a dive bomb from Claessen's 0.6 of a second behind, but Ginetta, Dangerous Ginetta, is going to come round the final corner to win the final round of the AOR ACL Porsche for Season 3. He spins, he's so happy with that. Very, very solid job. And Claessen as well, strong effort to get second. Laxo gets the final podium spot. And there's just cars crossing the line absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, that's that's a good finish. I was just sitting there and just thinking what the points difference would have been between Andrex and Matt. Had Matt caught up to Andrex and they'd finished in 8th and 9th with Andrex, or Matt ahead of Andrex. And there was a 2-point gap between them, and if they'd finished in 8th and 9th, they'd have finished on the exact same amount of points.
Wow.
So, but that would have required Matt to have caught and passed Andrex and stayed in those 8th and 9th positions, but they didn't, obviously. And so but that's the season. That's the season, guys.
It's the season indeed. I watched most of it. It was really fun to be here for commentary as well. Lots of action, I must say. There was definitely definitely no way we were going to be running out of anything to talk about, which is always good when you're in the commentary box. It does say actually that Claessen has won the race at the moment, but I think we pretty clearly saw that Ginetta did cross the line first. So it's just a little bit of a glitch at the moment. And it also says Michael Liner got ahead of Laxo, which also is wrong. But most of the cars back in the pits. A few cars still out celebrating their ups and downs of the season, I suppose. Oh, someone's actually going to drive back out of the pits, weaving in the pit lane. But yeah, you are probably in a better position to sort of sum up the season than me. All I know is that Laxo is the champion, and Andrex got second, Matt got third in the championship. After that, I have literally no clue.
Oh. Well, I mean, what can you say about this season, really? It's had a bit of everything, really. It's had ups and downs for a lot of drivers. It's had, I'd say, a relatively dominant champion in Laxo, who, I say relatively dominant, it was pretty strong from Laxo, really, the entire way. Getting as many wins and just as many podiums as he did. He was a bit of a class of his own, really. This season, we had a couple of guys come in that were challengers that unfortunately weren't here for the entire season. Shaft being one of them, and Millie Black always strong when he was here. But Laxo did a fantastic job the entire time, and a lot of other guys really showing that they have pace and potentially, in the future could be challenging for the title just as much as Laxo did. So yeah, there's a lot to wrap up. There's a lot of guys that did some good stuff. A lot of guys that possibly were a little bit disappointed in themselves and how the season went. But it's been good. The racing, I think, is the main thing. The racing has been incredible. Really, everyone pretty much always able to run very nice battles, side by sides here and there, always respectful to each other. We had occasional incidents, but you expect that in any motor race. It doesn't matter at what level. So I think considering that it's these cars and a lot of these guys probably potentially not used to it, especially coming from the F3 from last season. They all adapted very well. Some more than others. A few people not quite getting up to speed with these cars as they did in the F3X, did being probably the most standout person in that respect. But yeah, it's just been really good racing, really good time, and I've enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good run up there, I think. Just getting a confirmation of the second race results here. Dangerous Ginetta beating Claessen by 0.442. of a second. So very, very close indeed. It actually does say that Michael Leonard beat Laxo even on these results. So maybe he actually did.
He might. I think he did. I think I saw it just at the end. I think Laxo possibly slowed down going towards the line.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, Michael Leonard then getting a podium. Nice for him. And yeah, confirmation as well. Andrex in 8th, Matt in 11th, which means Andrex is second in the championship, ahead of his rival. And Phil, I guess we have come to the point where it's about time for the interviews.
The what?
Interviews. Surely.
The who?
Interviews.
Yeah.
Speaking of interviews, who should we interview? I mean, surely Dangerous Janetta must get an interview here after winning that race.
Of course. I'm thinking probably Andrex. Just because, you know, second in the championship, nothing to scoff at. We need to work out, see how the team's championship ended. I'm assuming that Neon will have taken it, but...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd think so, considering Laxo finished so high in both races. Yeah, hopefully we will get confirmation on that one as well. I know that at the end of the stream we will get all the coordinators in for a chat, just like at the end of last season as well. But yeah, let's do some driver interviews first. Actually, before I do that, I'm just gonna once again just give a shout out, because it's been a ridiculous amount of follows. I mean, I've literally gained like 20 new followers from this Assetto Corsa stream. Is that a hint that you want me to do more of these?
Oh no.
It's my first, and I mean, I'm not scheduled to do any more, but I mean, it's been a lot of fun, so you never know. You might see me back in the commentary box for these at some point. But depending, of course, on what will happen with Wycombs as well. But I know that he will be having a lot of stuff going on in the coming months as well. So yeah, you never know. I'm not going to rule it out. But yeah, shout out to PS4 friends, Maniusiak 27, Lofombus, Dudubel, Mama Dums B93 and 100, Slisas, Super Cooley, MJ Ungo Gaming, Mackin Na David Hull, Rock 1 TS, Mobile 777, Rustic 73, Brown Bear 383. Thanks lads for the support. But yeah, let's jump now into the driver interview. You know, I think Chris usually asks the drivers first if they actually want an interview. I'm not.
He asks. Oh, you're just gonna drag him, are you?
I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna drag him.
Oh my god.
So that's what I usually do on the podcast streams. So hopefully Dangerous Janetta is ready for this. Let's see.
I hope so. I'll let you do that.
Yep.
I'll get involved.
Hello, Mr. Dangerous Janetta. Are you there? Do push your talk button if you are there. Ooh, there was a dog there.
That's mine.
Oh, that's a shame. What did he get in there?
Oh well, he's just big fan of the racing.
Okay, that is. It always works on the Project stream, but okay. Well, I'll put Janetta back in and I'll send him a message. Hopefully, he will get an interview with him eventually. Interview ? Right. Hold off on that one for a bit then. Who else do you think we should talk to then, Phil?
Andrex, maybe, although we're getting him in later anyway.
We are, although that will be together with 2 other drivers. I mean, if you only want him to get to talk about his racing tonight, I guess get him in maybe. Maybe Matt as well, just because those guys were
maybe we could, I was saying maybe we can get them in together if that's possible.
Ooh.
Do something different.
Sure, I will ask.
Send them a message.
Interview ? I assume Matt Schimmel is Matt...
Schmel.
Yeah, sure.
S.
He says yes. Laxo want to be interviewed as well. Sure, we can. I mean, I'm sure you've talked to him enough for this season, but I mean, he's the champion, so I'm sure we can give him a few minutes as well. Quick message to Andrex as well. Matt said yes, which is good. So hopefully Andrex will also not have a problem. I mean, usually Andrex doesn't have a problem with being forced to talk. So, okay, they both said sure. They do not, however, know that they're going to be in together. So let's surprise.
Oh, good.
Hold that thought, Matt. 1 second, because we're going to do something quite special here. Something very special. We're going to get a double interview with the two drivers who both were fighting for that second place in the championship. A very tense fight, it must be said. Obviously, Andrix went into the night 6 points ahead of Matt. Matt was looking stronger to take it in the second race, but then you had a bit of a spin, and Andrix got it in the end. Andrix, first of all. Yeah, I expected to both talk at the same time. We're going to start with Andrix, just because he got second. So he gets to talk first. Andrix, how was those races for you?
Well, it's probably up for debate, because turn 1 on that second race, I managed to touch the grass on the inside, and it doesn't brake very well on the grass, so she torpedoed into somebody I don't even know, the poor soul. I managed to give a healthy hit on the side, but yeah, it was a bit of a mess. So there was a potential penalty coming in there, and fair play. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for third. It's been an outstanding season. The car just seems to really suit me. It just really worked for me this season, getting some consistent results. I got a win, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm a happy chappy. I got a win earlier on in the season. I got a couple of podiums, I think. Got one tonight as well out of nowhere. People seem to gift them to me now and again, so I'll take them whenever that happens. But yeah, no, it was just a really good season for me. After last season's open wheelers, which I don't like, switching to tin top like this really seemed to work. So,
yeah.
But hats off for Matt. It was far too quick anyway, but I think he was just unlucky in a lot of the races, whereas I was perhaps lucky. So fair play to him.
Yeah, Matt, respond.
Well, pretty much what he said. I mean, I'm hoping that, obviously, fingers crossed for me to get P2, that he has a penalty, but you never know. It doesn't bother me that much, P2 or P3. It's the way the season's gone. If I'd performed the first half of the season like I did the second half, it's gone exactly the same way as last season. That after like 3 races, I think I was down in about P10, P12 in the championship, and then when I started to get my act together, I was suddenly there. But even if I'd had a whole season where I was performing like I think I probably was performing at the best, I would not have matched Lark. Anyway, so P2 would have been what I would have had anyway. So
yeah, it was always going to be a fight for P2 for everyone else, really. He's kind, not untouchable, but he's pretty close to not being beatable, really. But we'll see. We'll put him in a slow car next season and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll touch a bit on what plans might come for next season at the end of the stream. But yeah, do you guys have any particular highlight from the season that has just gone past?
My one and only win. And that win was my first. That win was my first podium, and I've only had 2 podiums this season, so I'm pretty happy about that. At my home race as well, so pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a win coming from P22, 23 from the grid on the second race. I can't even remember what track it was, but that was my only win as well. So that was again, it was one of those races where the stars just seemed to line up and miss incidents and catch people making mistakes and sneak through and gain places, and it all kind of just went better than I could really ever expect.
Yeah.
And I'm not on the pace on that. I mean, he's much quicker than I am. I say he's just had a not so great beginning of the season, and that's what gave me the lead. You can see how close it was going into that last race. There was 4 points between us. So
there was 6 right at the start of this round.
Yeah, and then it was 2 before the second race, I think. So.
Yeah, so it was neck and neck really, and I'm not on his pace, so it's just down to consistency and him having a bit of a bad season as well. So, but you've got to take it when you can.
Yeah.
But I'll be happy with P3 at the end. That to me is way above my grade anyway. So
get P2. So
whatever happens, we'll see.
Yeah. Certainly, very, very impressive season from both of you, I guess it's fair to say. And obviously, yeah, in terms of your wins being the highlight, no surprise there, I guess. When you get a win in an AOR league, that tends to kind of be something to remember. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I won, right? But I think.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, and I don't really think it will keep it, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Good stuff, guys. Yeah, well done on the season.
Yeah,
Andrix might get you back in with the coordinators a bit later. But
Yeah, sure.
for now, guys, cheers for joining us, and well done on the season.
Cheers,
Thank you
look
very
forward to
much.
seeing you guys. Thank you.
So, that was Andrix and Matt, your second and third of the championship. Seemed like Andrix consistently thought he was third there, but I'm pretty sure he was second.
I think he was more talking about the fact he's possibly got a penalty, so he's just accepting third now.
Okay, I didn't catch on to that. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, but still. Good job from both of them. So, Dangerjanet unfortunately hasn't replied to my message, so it seems like we will not have an interview with our race winner from that last race. Instead, Phil, what do you reckon? Should we give a few minutes to the champion? Is there anyone else that you feel stand out as a...
Yes, I mean, we have to bring in the champion at the end of the season. That's just a rule. And then if we can think of someone else after that, then maybe we can do that. Or we can leave it there and go straight to the coordinators. But yes, champion it is.
I will give 1 minute to Laxo because this had so many minutes. I think. Laxo!
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you indeed.
Good, good, good.
How are you doing? You got 1 minute to explain how awesome you are.
Bah,
Good
that's
response.
how awesome I
Sure. How else to say it? Yeah, I think that basically sums it up. You had
Yeah,
that.
that sums up my season.
Pretty much. Yeah. How many wins was it in the end? Did you keep count?
No, I was just watching the points
Sure. And obviously, into
after the races.
this final race, you didn't have any pressure. I guess you just were chilling out on track, but you still managed to get a win. And yeah, actually, we thought you were getting third in that second race, but what happened? It says you were classified fourth at the end.
I thought that the microlander needs the points more than me, and he was really well hanging on me, so I just slowed down to let him go.
Fair enough. Very nice. I have a feeling that wasn't exactly the case, but you know, if it was the case, then that's very nice. Yeah. I mean, how can you really sum up your season when you've been this dominant? So is there any particular standout moments for you that you've had this season?
I think the second races was the most enjoyable ones.
Alright. What track was that?
Climbing up the field every second race.
Oh, every second race. I see what you mean, yeah. I see.
They were the best ones.
Yeah. And
There's a lot of highlights.
yeah. There should have been some kind of overtake counter on you in those second races.
Yeah.
It would have been certainly more than 100 in total throughout the season, I would have thought. But yeah. Is there anything else?
That's how you know it's been a good season, actually, don't you? That's how you know it's been a good season when your
Yeah.
highlight of the season is half of the races.
And also at the last race we had to take some construction points to get the team championship win, so we
Yeah, that's
managed to
good
do
point.
that also, so not bad season.
Yeah, definitely. So Neon, the champion of the constructor as well, which is also very impressive. You and Exited, was it?
Yeah, and Diablo was in a couple
Yeah.
races.
I see. Yeah, congrats to Exited as well, I guess, on that one. Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to add, really.
No.
You've had fantastic season, champion of season 3 of Assetto Corsa. Really well done, and hopefully we'll see you back for whatever will happen in season 5.
Yeah, and thanks for Phil and Wycoms and VCU for these
Thank
streams.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Yeah.
See, just the one race for me, but yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. You never know, I'd be back at some point.
I will watch it soon and spot every mistake, so be ready.
I expect a
Yeah.
massive message at the end.
Yeah,
Alright, man. Cheers for joining us, and
Okay.
well done again on your championship.
yeah, thanks. Bye.
Alright, that was your season 3 champion Laxo. And I think with that, it's time to get the 3 coordinators in. I mean, I'm sure they'll be keen on talking a bit about their seasons as well, but I'm sure they'll also be keen on maybe giving a few hints on what might happen in season 4 and when it might happen. So,
I can give a hint right now.
oh,
Inside scoop. First here, you won't heard it anywhere else.
oh dear lord.
I can guarantee in the next season that there will be racing on racing circuits.
What?
So, I'm sorry, just spoilers. That rules out a few things.
Shame.
It does. We're not going to have planes. We're not going to have boats. We're not going to have bikes that I know of.
I was looking
My
forward
point-
to a multi-class
there
race
could be
between
bi-
some
there could be
planes and
bikes.
boats and bikes and cars. Could have been a fun multi-class
And
race. 24
trains.
hours. And trains. Ooh, yeah.
Trains are slightly interesting. When racing trains is a tricky business. You sort of think, well, there's only one track, and you're right, there is.
Be hard to overtake.
And it's
I
not
think.
very exciting. It's not very exciting. I won't lie.
A bit tricky
it's,
to
pretty
dive
dull.
bombs.
Yeah, but you do occasionally get it. Who can turn around the turntables quickest? Who can take most speed through the corners without tipping over? It's not too dissimilar to truck racing. Yes. Anyway, so that's my inside scoop. So hopefully that's got everyone hyped up.
Yep.
For the next season, assuming there is going to be a next season. There is.
Basically spoiled it now.
Yeah, I know. I spoiled the fact there's going to be a next
yeah.
season.
I don't know if it's going to be cars.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's very disappointed about this. Okay, let's. I don't care if they're ready or not. I'm just going to drag them in here.
Oh, okay.
There's Andrex.
Oh, for God's sake, he's back again.
That was quick.
I'm like a fart in a spacesuit. You
And
just can't get rid of me.
There's Maisie.
There's Maisie.
And
Oh,
there is
hey,
Nostra. Everybody's
Okay.
here. All the coordinators.
It's a bit tight in here.
Yeah, commentary
Sorry.
box.
Fat one.
You could have given us a
I'll
bigger
cut down
commentary
on the
box.
pies.
I was expecting a big commentary box, to be honest. I'm quite
Yeah.
disappointed. But,
They're on the budget here.
fair enough.
How
Hopefully,
was it, Fizzy, losing your virginity?
Ooh, it was pretty amazing, actually. Yeah. It was,
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
enjoy it.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, certainly not short of stuff to talk about.
Good man.
So I guess we already talked about Andrex's season, but I guess you too, Maisie,
done that.
Nostra, feel free to sort of sum up any particular moments that stand out for you guys.
Macy?
Yeah, I think it ran pretty good, except of this last race hiccup with the track. But otherwise, yeah, there was some, some problems with the race 2 on the grid because we have to. I think we had one driver had to leave. Yeah, Martin
yeah.
was sadly. I tried like 2 weeks to sort things out with him, but it just didn't work for him with the reverse grids. Not sure why, what happens. Yeah, apart from that, I think it was pretty nice. The race 2 especially. So yeah, I really like it that we put the reserve grid in place. So yeah, that was really game changer for almost everybody except Laxo, I believe, because he just he's just racing like Ghost. He just goes through the field like nice through butter. But yeah, you can't stop him.
Definitely.
Yeah, there was a little bit of kind of learning the first couple of races as people got used to the reverse grid, and it's obviously new to a lot of people. But I think it adds an awful lot to the racing. I think it makes it's an exciting part. It obviously should make it a lot more overtaking in the racing and so on. So it should be more enjoyable to watch, and it is certainly, in my opinion, more enjoyable to drive in as well. You're not just solo lapping by yourself, so it's good.
Gives it sort of gives the drivers two different experiences on the same night, doesn't it? They got the sort of normal type race first, and then kind of super mixed up race where maybe in a normal race you don't get as much battling, but in the other race you really have to either fight through the field or defend, depending on where you are. So yeah, definitely very interesting. Nos, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I think like Macy said, I think it really worked out well. And again, like Hendrik said, some issues at the second race, but I think people have to adapt to it. But like I think last season I gave it 7 or 7.5 out of 10, and I think this was 8.5. My personal season was I was aiming for top 15 and I got it, but I'm disappointed I didn't get into top 10 in the last race. But too many accidents. But yeah, what can you do? It was good fun, really was. And again, it's like seen like in real life in Formula 1 with accidents and stuff. So I actually think our races is pretty clean. There will always be some bumps when there's 36 drivers on the grid. It's unavoidable, but yeah, I think it's pretty clean, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you had that crash at the start of the second race today, but apart from that, it wasn't really too much dirty stuff as far as I can see, anyway. And yeah, it was lots of good battling. So, are you planning to sort of keep this format going forward as well?
Yeah, I think because it really works, and as this is like we still call it like no hardcore league because you don't have to practice, as you don't know the track, so you just jump in on Monday night, just stuck in your car, you have the lock set up, and just drive 30 minutes on the new track, which but the grip levels are different from like offline racing. So yeah, you have to adapt and then go racing, and you don't have to mess up with the setup all week or train or sweat like crazy. So I think it's like user friendly. Maybe that's because we also have like a lot of signups, and I think we're really pushing the limits of the game with 36 plus drivers. I think we can't really go much far with the numbers, as people starting to having issues during racing. So yeah, hopefully this is the sweet spot with 36 drivers plus 2 commentators.
And I think it really appeals to a lot of people that they don't have to practice a lot, that they can just turn up, have fun for 2 hours and that's it. I think that really appeals to a lot of people, and I think it brings the grid closer together, except Laxo, of course, because he's just an alien. But like in some of the races you have from like P5 to P25, there's only a second. So if you just do a good lap and you gain 2/10 on a lap, then you jump from P22 to P10.
It didn't work today, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like improving like 3/10 and just 1 position gain. Wow.
But I think it appeals to a wider audience, and of course some people prefer hardcore league racing, and I think there should be room for both.
Yeah, I think because the people who are racing here, they can race on other leagues which are more hardcore, which I think many of guys doing, like Andrex with his endurance league, because I think you have to practice much more for that. So yeah, that we not take away people from like other leagues because they have just 2.5 hours in week, just turn up, drive, and go away.
Exactly.
And live your life.
Yeah, also that again, the reverse grid as well. It puts people at the front when they're perhaps not normally there, which is a kind of nice kind of switch around that people are kind of battling to maybe just defend and hold on to as many points as they can, maybe not improve, and maybe expect to get passed by some of the faster people coming through, like Laxo and so on, but just kind of almost damage limitation and just kind of not something that I think we've got in really any other leagues. We had it in the BMW Touring Car League and the Project Cars in between seasons 5 and 6, I think. And it just worked really well. I say once the teething issues kind of got sorted out and people kind of calmed down, it was a little bit mad the first couple of races perhaps, but I think it pretty quickly kind of sorted itself out and people behaved themselves and just drove it how they were supposed to drive. I think it adds an awful lot to the league. I really do.
I also think we are taking some people and like throwing in the deep end of the water, like people who normally isn't in the front, and people who maybe perhaps haven't led a race or started on pole and that kind of stuff, and did just tried. And I think it people learn a lot from it, or at least I did when I was leading the race.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Yeah, I think from what I've seen, obviously I've watched some of the streams earlier in the season, and from how enjoyable it was to comment on the races tonight, I think, can't argue with any of what you've said. On to Season 4, though. First of all, there is going to be a Season 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hi, Phil.
Phil, are you gonna race in Season 4?
No.
As a safety car.
As I say, oh, please. I can commentate. I can commentate over that actually. I can probably do the safety car and commentate.
Safety car
That'd be
commentary.
fine.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be a Season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already let slip about some information. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of ruined the surprise a bit. It's not. I've already told them it's not going to be plane racing. So
It's not plane racing.
no plane. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And not
so,
even any boats or trains.
or trains or boats.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, or bikes actually.
Just simulator.
We're gonna make like a player unknown Battlegrounds League.
Yes.
I don't know. One of the guys in the social race like a couple of weeks ago spent a lot of time on 2 wheels. I think you could probably do it. Right?
But yeah, Season 4 is definitely gonna happen. I think so far we have planned for up to Season 7, but of course everything
wow.
can change. But it all depends on the sign-ups. If we get enough sign-ups, then we'll do it. If we only get like 5 people and cheer them, me, Hendrix, and Macy, then it's probably not gonna happen.
I doubt we dropped that quick, that fast. But
you never know
That
after
would be
this. After this,
actually, speaking of Season 4, I have a little promo video, which I might have your permission to show. Should I show it?
Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
Spoiler alert!
Sure. And it's
then.
Macy who done it, so all credit to him.
Credit to Macy for what you're about to see. A bit of a promo then for Season 4. Let's go. So there we go. Excitement building for Season 4, and as you could see in that promo, 3 different cars. What's that all about?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
just
not
pick
multi-class.
one and just drive, yeah.
Pick
It
whatever
was
you feel
never
like
done
on the day.
before, so yeah.
Well, the last couple of seasons we decided which car we wanted for, well, not what we wanted, what we thought would provide the closest racing. And this season, or for Season 4, we couldn't really agree. Andix wanted 92 DTM cars because he's an old man.
That's correct. Factually accurate.
I wanted the Audi TT because it's awesome to drive, and Macy wanted open wheeler. So we decided why not leave it in the hands of the people, let the
Fair
market decide.
Apart from the fact that what we're actually going to do is we're going to run the GP3 cars, except for Laxo, who's going to be in the Audi.
Oh yeah.
This will probably win.
So that's the plan so far. That we're gonna open a vote on the forum, and then people can vote for which car they want to drive in Season 4.
All right, nice one.
And then we just decide whatever we want.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Of
we'll
course.
put up for vote, but then we'll doctor the vote.
The privilege of the coordinator. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we actually, to make it a little bit more interesting, it's the Audi car. Like in real life, you actually got a push to pass. That system, we actually transfer that to the GP3 car. So the GP3 car actually got a push to pass button as well.
Ah.
So during the race, it has like, I think it's 400 horsepower. So during the race, when you press a button, you get 40 more horsepower. And you can only use that for a certain amount of time during the race. And it's dependent on where you start. So if you start first, you have less push to pass than if you start last.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Not the
probably
way.
gonna mix it up a little bit and do a little bit more strategic elements, bring it to the game.
Definitely interesting. Yeah. So, I don't know about you. I'm certainly, well, first of all, looking forward to see what which car then the community will prefer, and obviously look forward to, in whatever capacity I will be watching in next season.
3 commentators next season.
We'll see. We'll see. Not going to rule anything out. We'll see how it sort of fits in with the schedule and all that. But
Yeah, you're a busy man.
yeah, it was certainly fun today. So yeah, definitely not going to rule that out. And of course, either way, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm sure you guys are as well.
Yeah, but it's gonna be nice for the
Yeah,
break.
it'll be okay.
And I just want to say one thing for the stream, is that I actually won the bet with Mixer.
You did what
Yeah.
with Mixer? The bet.
Yeah, the bet. We had a bet of who finished the highest in the league would buy a DLC for the other guy.
I see.
Ah.
So you
And I
won. It.
won.
Nice one.
Yeah,
Nice one.
then you can fucking learn it.
Unlucky missed mixed stuff you're watching. But yep. Good stuff.
But
Good
yeah.
stuff. But I think
Good fun.
But thank you to you guys as well for running the streams and the kind of commentary, and yeah, it's again, it always adds an awesome element to the racing as well, and it's really fun to watch. Even it's the first thing I do after the race. It's like watch the stream. It's great
Same.
stuff. So thank you all.
Yeah, and
Thank
again,
And even Phil, if he's still awake, are you still with us?
No,
Yeah,
I'm sort of here.
Okay, just checking.
and again, thanks to Domino and
Oh yeah,
Jimmy
of course.
for making this awesome graphic to begin with, and to make all these awesome skins, which I really think brings so much to the league.
Mhm.
That it's just amazing what they can do. And yeah, I hope they will stick around and help us for season 4. Same with
Yeah, sure.
with Phil and Wycombe and you, Jason.
Yeah.
So yeah, can't do it without this. And for all those who like to watch the stream,
Yeah.
also thanks to all those people, because yeah, it's good fun to have some viewers and
Oh, yeah.
people commentating and actually enjoying what we do.
But you don't have to just watch. You can sign up and join in and
Yeah,
take part. It's up to you guys.
I can
Everybody's
curse
welcome.
all of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Commentators good. But Phil, now you've been part of us for 2 seasons now. How did you enjoy this season compared to the last one?
Oh, I think this one, in terms of the because it was added the reverse grid, it certainly seemed to be slightly more action-packed than in general. I mean, the F3 season was already really good anyway, so the fact that this one sort of boosted up a little bit, it's a shame. I think the only thing was it's not really the league's fault or anything else. Obviously, Laxo winning it as easy as he did was kind of the only main problem with it. We can't really blame anyone for that apart from Laxo for being too good.
Wait, penalty season 4.
Exactly, yeah. So, hope, yeah. But other than that, yeah, the racing was just incredible for the most part. I think we had less issues with like contacts or things like that with people. I think just because of the nature of the car, you can have a little bit of contact. There's not really a problem here and there. Obviously, there were a few instances, but you expect that sometimes, especially in the reverse grids when it's all a little bit bottlenecky with just the the reversing speed through the field as well. I do like the fact that everyone gets reversed if you finish the race, of course. That's because you basically just have it's just everyone on the grid again, because very few people don't finish. So it's it's certainly fun. As I say, the racing itself is very exciting to watch both times in both races, really. I mean, the reverse grid's always special because you get to see just who is like maybe more aggressive or more decisive in their moves through the field and who's a little bit more cautious, and you sort of see different mindsets playing out through the entire thing between certain people. So that's always nice. You do get a lot of different you got a lot of different drivers as well in different racing styles, and it all adds up to be a good show, I think.
Yeah.
It's also motivating for the drivers as well, because if they were to just continue the normal formats, the guys at the back of the field are just getting the tiny little points and just slowly kind of adding up as they go along. Whereas this gives them the opportunity to kind of get a decent haul of points out of a race, and yeah, just kind of maybe get a little bit higher up the league than perhaps they might have done normally. So it's a nice kind of carrot to dangle in front of them, and yeah, no, I think it works well.
Yeah. It's to say the reverse grids typically make the championship closer as well. I mean,
Well,
I think
apart from
it probably
Laxo,
did. It probably did actually. Laxo possibly would have even won the championship further away, or than
Yeah.
yeah.
They
So
couldn't have been much closer for second going into the very last race. I think there was only 4 points between us, or 2 points between us for the
yeah,
second
there was
race
two.
of
Well,
championship.
yeah, I think it was 6 going into race 1 here, and then it was 2. It was 2 going into the second race. I think with you 2 points ahead.
Yeah.
So it's funny actually. If Matt had managed to catch you in 8th, and Matt had finished 8th and you'd have finished 9th, you'd have finished on the exact same points.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, Matt had that issue, which is a little bit of a shame because we were sort of building up to you having to catch Matt. Because I was thinking that you were behind going into the race because of Matt's finishing position, but obviously then I realised it was actually only 2nd and 3rd that you finished, because it would have been Matt definitely ahead had you not ended up on the podium in that race 1.
Yeah, I don't know where that really came from. To be fair, that was very unexpected because there was about 5 laps to go, and I was in about P6 or 7 or so, and people in front of me just kept falling off. And I was like, oh, okay. And then yeah, it was like the last lap. I was like, back on P3.
Yeah.
I need that. That's what I need.
Yeah, as I say, so all you had to do in the second race was finish ahead of Matt, which it looked like it might not have been happening until Matt had his thing with was it Dangerous or was it Nick?
I think it was Domino because I saw him pull over.
Yeah. Okay.
In the first sector.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I think it might have been him.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a third
Teammate conspiracy.
Yeah, man, you got a third teammate.
I'll pay him later.
But yeah, good fun. Looking forward to season 4.
Yes.
Don't think I can add much, to be honest. I think you basically said everything that needs to be said. So, this is something else. I'm gonna wrap up the Assetto Corsa Season 3 after party here, and end the stream. So, yeah, I have some thanks to give as well. Of course, thanks to all of you 3 for coordinating the league, running it. It's definitely a great thing for AOR, in my opinion, to have a league in Assetto Corsa, and especially one with this many drivers and really cool format and all that. So cheers guys for sorting all of that out. Of course, thanks to Phil for being alongside me in the commentary box and throughout the whole season as well.
Yay.
Yay.
I did it.
Thanks, of course, to Chris Wycombs for, first of all, doing all the first 7 rounds in the commentary box, and for helping me get everything set up with the game and the DLC and the downloads and all that kind of things I needed to cover for him today. Obviously, the guys who have been helping with the liveries and the graphics and stuff for the league as well. And the viewers, those who are still left after this long a stream, fair play to you. I hope you have enjoyed what you've seen, and of course there will be another season to come, season 4. Not quite sure when yet, but it will be coming. Keep an eye on the AOR forums for more information on that, whether you want to be part of that as a driver or as a viewer. So more news will be coming out in due course on that. So from me, Fizzy, from Phil, from Andrex, Maisie and Noz, we will thank you all for watching the stream, and catch you in season 4.
Yeah, thank you
Goodbye.
guys.
Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.